Folks, I don't know if you are following the 10-year note, 30-year mortgage rates as closely as I am, or as our guest from Convoy Home Loans is, but let me just tell you right now, rates are crashing. We're going to talk about a rate get ready, 5%. No, sub 5%. Dustin, let us have it. What the heck is going on in mortgage land?
Yeah, so we've continued to see the drop in rates that have obviously spurred a lot more interest from our potential clients or past clients. And the first big number that stood out to me was that I saw a four handle in front of a mortgage loan that was written by Convoy. Now, to give some background here, I didn't write the loan. It was actually one of my loan officers that did a 20% down FHA purchase, 2 units with 2.5 points. I don't know if the seller contributed. I didn't get into the weeds that much, but I saw the lot confirmation at 4.875. So 4.875 on an FHA loan is now available.
And I want to be clear about something. Something we've talked about all year was having the seller kick in points to help buy down the rate. Now, again, we don't know in this example. I think it's a reasonable to guess the seller contributed at least some, if not all. But I don't know if you watched any of my daily financial news, Dustin, but I've been kind of trying to communicate that, we need rates to stay in the sixes. Otherwise, stuff is going to break and go wild again. So when you see my reaction and putting my head in my hands, that's a sign of concern because we're at 4.875. We're in December. Rates, we're at 8. They're, 40% down in 5 weeks, dude. We're heading into January with no inventory, really no inventory for first-time home buyer homes. I'm concerned. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and I agree. I would like, the whole soft landing thing that the feds are trying to put. I want that to happen to the mortgage industry specifically as well, because it's going to be even worse if we continue to go any further.
Yeah.
What John and I noticed, because we, sell a lot of our loans, but mainly only on the non-QM side, right? We don't sell any necessarily FHA conventional because they get bought back by the lender immediately when we do those types of loans. But we saw last week the loan tape is what we call it. Essentially, when you'll look at 100 or 1,000 different loans that are bundled up together, and you can see the spread that the lender's making when they sell these, right?
Yep.
That compression is happening very rapidly. Now, the reason we're seeing like different rates between, let's say, some of the bigger players like Quicken and Loan Depot versus some of the smaller ones is because they want to get in on the game now. They want to see their pipes increase, and they're willing to take, it's a mathematical equation.
It's a volume
right? Can I get more? Yeah. Exactly. So that's what we're seeing right now.
Well, the other thing we should talk about is refinances, right? There wasn't a lot of net new transactions. Refi has been down, I don't know, call it 18 months or so, certainly 12 months. Have you at Convoy started to see refis tick up? I would guess week on week, maybe even month on month now. But what are you seeing in refi land?
Yeah, significantly. And it was a great question because we kind of ran our end of the year-ish meeting last week. Obviously, we have one more week, but we wanted to get ahead of it because it's a little bit slower at the end of the month, end of the year. We saw an uptick in refinances just from month over month, 32%, which,
yeah, dude, that's exactly what I think's coming. Oh, yeah. In refis are generally speaking, you have to break apart each, but generally speaking, are net, the borrower, it's certainly if they're doing a streamline, it's just rate and term. It's not like we saw a 32% uptick in refis doing cash out. No. Right? These are lots of rate and terms where their payments are falling $200, $400, $600, $800, sometimes $1,000.
Yep.
And that's net positive for the consumer.
Yeah, and then look, the streamlines and the EARLs, I won't get into the refis of the non-QM, the DSCR out of hard money, but the VA or VA EARLs which are pretty much identical to the FHA streamlines that don't require an appraisal, right? Don't require any income check. It is a no-brainer for most consumers. Now, what's nice if you are that consumer is, look, the FHA and the VA, they're government sponsored loans. The government has their hands in them. They
Yep.
make sure that there's a benefit. There's called a net tangible benefit. Like you can't just refi, pay 3,000 in closing costs and save $10, right? It needs to save a certain amount of money. It has to drop a certain amount of rate or they won't let you do it. So
Awesome.
it's not one that I think is maybe being taken advantage of by other lenders or loan officers, just being like, save $10 and we'll do it for free. It doesn't work like that.
I'm so glad to hear that. The other thing that I'm really concerned about is these big shops, all those call centers just banging on people's, now that
Yeah.
rates are lower. If you're getting hard pressed by one of the big call centers, I strongly recommend you reach out to folks that I trust, like Convoy Home Loans, just to get a second set of eyes on it. Cause I see some really bad behavior going on out there. So please, guys, be careful. But back to the opening line, 4.875 FHA, 30-year fixed, 20% down.
30-year fix with points,
Yeah, of course.
740 plus, but yeah, it's there. It's there.
I did not think we would see a four handle in
I
2020.
didn't either. I didn't want it, honestly. I didn't want it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, do me a favor. Where can people come if they want to reach out to you, see what they can get, maybe get second eyes on a refi, see what's right for them?
Yeah, just go to convoyhomeloans.com and mention you came from ORAT.
Thank you, buddy.